Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Tiny Kitchen. For those of you who have been around a while, thank you for coming back, and for those of you who are new, thank you for coming along. Excuse my voice, it's been going in and out on me for a couple of weeks now. Don't know why, don't care. In case you're wondering what we got going on today, we have lots of pickles. This is 5 pounds of pickles that I gotta do something with. So I've decided I'm going to make some relishes, and we got to get these all ground up and ready to go. So let me move them out of the way, get my cutting board here, and we'll show you what we're going to do. So basically, and we'll flip this over. Basically what we're going to do is cut the ends off, and I'm going to chunk them up, throw them in my food processor. These aren't big enough to have to pull the seeds out of. And yes, these are from the garden. My vines have been going crazy. So, cut any bad spots. Yeah, I got that one. And now, let me pop you up here so you can see what I'm going to do. Get you zoomed in. We got our food processor going here. Got her full. Let me focus you in. There we go. So basically I'm just going to pulse this until I get it all broken down into relish size. Off of here, and we'll put you back down. And focus you in here. And this is what it's going to look like. So you got a nice fine dice on it. And I'm going to finish up these pickles, and I'll be back in a hot minute. So for the second round of cucumbers, we're going to make a sweet relish, and I have 2.5 pounds of my cucumbers that I threw in the food processor and blended up, and I'm going to add to that 2 cups of onions that I did the same thing with the food processor, and then I'm going to add 2.5 tablespoons of salt. Now I'm using kosher again. You can use pickling salt if you want to. We're going to get this all stirred up, get it mixed together a little bit, and now I'm going to add a cup of cold water to this, and I'm going to stir that all in, and this is going to go into the refrigerator for 2 hours. I'll see you in a minute. I've got my onions and my pickles in here for my sweet relish, and now I'm going to add my ingredients. So I have 3 cups of vinegar, 3 cups of sugar, crazy. I have a teaspoon of turmeric, I have a tablespoon of mustard seed, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground clove. And we're going to stir this up. Again, we're going to bring this to a boil, just like we did in the dough video. And once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down. This time I'm going to try and do it on like 5, and it says, the recipe says to cook it for 20 minutes until it starts to thicken. So I will see you in a little bit. we're back and this is ready. So I'm getting ready to can it, but I'm going to do it a little differently than I did the dill relish the other day. I'm going to use a slotted spoon to put everything in, and then I'm going to top it off with the liquid. So we're going to get started here. I'm going to readjust the camera. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. And again, this is going to be a 1/2 inch head space. And I've got 6 jars here, but it's going to be more than 6 jars. And like I did with the dill, I'm going to use the handle, plastic handle. Never use metal. I use the plastic handle of my my handy dandy spatula. Oh, that's close. And I'm just going to keep going. Let them sit for a little bit and see if they settle down. Because you want them to have some liquid in them. And I tasted this and it tastes really good. Really good. And I probably didn't share this with you, but the reason you want to do all this is to get air pockets out of the jars. You don't want to have a lot of, you want to get the air pockets out. So while I'm finishing this off, I will bring it back shortly. Well, we ended up with only 6. I had about a 1/2 jelly jar that I'm going to put in the fridge when it cools off. I'm using a damp paper towel on these because this has got a lot of sugar in it and I want to make sure that the jars seal. So as you can see, I'm wiping them down and moving them out of the way. And I did taste this, and it tastes so good. We'll just hope it all seals. So we got one more. And like we did with the dill, we're going to put the lids on and we're going to tighten them, finger tighten them. And put them in the electric canner. And I'll be back shortly with some more content. So same process as we did with the dill relish. I couldn't not get a whole jelly jar, so I did do some draining and I got 7 jelly jars instead of 6. I'm gonna get the water going. We're gonna put this at 15 minutes once the water gets boiling, and then it'll be done. And we are done. So we will see you shortly. So my sweet relish is done, and I ended up with 7 jelly jars, which is a pretty good haul. I just hope it tastes as good as it looks. Now I pulled it out of the pressure canner, and I'm going to let it set for 24 hours just to make sure that everything seals and that doesn't get banged around or anything. And then I will label it and put it away. So I'm so glad you guys came along for the ride, and I hope you have a blessed evening, and I certainly cannot wait to try this stuff. Thank you and good night.